We've actually had a few requests to have me make a video to show you exactly what the process is for making the adjusted paste that I personally use in the moulds. Of course, you can use other brands. If you find a paste that works for you, then I would say go ahead and work with what works. However, I've found, because I've got hot, sticky hands, this is what works for me. There's a little bit of a variant in the recipe, which is what I'll explain as we go along. But basically, I've taken 500 grams of any sugar paste or fondant, any brand whatsoever, whatever is internationally available to you wherever you are on the planet. Then I've taken Tylo powder or CMC powder. Sometimes people will find if they can't find Tylo powder, and I've added them together. So let's put that to one side a second. So I said 500 grams or 1 pound of any sugar paste or fondant. To that I've added between 5 and 10 grams of Tylo powder or CMC. Now, I would always say, because it is affected by several things, if you have a firm paste to start with, you may only need 5 grams of Tylo powder. If you've got a really soft paste, you may need 10 grams of Tylo powder. If you're living in the Philippines or Malaysia and you've got really hot humidity to deal with, you may have to have 10 grams. If you've got hot hands, maybe 10 grams. If you're living in Alaska, you may even need less than 5 grams because the outside temperature is keeping your paste firmer in the first place. So I would say, starting point, use 5 grams to a pound or 500 grams of paste. And then if you are still having any problems whatsoever, adjust the Tylo. And by adjusting, I mean add a pinch or two more. Don't immediately add an extra 5 grams because you might end up with a house brick of paste, okay? The 5 grams means that it'll give you that bit of firmness to it. It's almost a modelling paste. I don't use a 50-50 paste, which is half gum paste or flour paste and half sugar paste. I found that is a bit too elastic for me, but as I said, whatever paste works for you, it should work easily in the mould and be released easily from the mould and be able to firm up within about 15 or 20 minutes that you can handle it without distorting any detail. So the process is, I take my paste and I make sure I give it a good knead so it's nice and soft. Now you will think immediately that this is too much and it's not going to get incorporated, but believe me, as you knead it, the Tylo powder will work its way in, and the Tylo powder is actually an edible gum, so what it will do is it will actually firm up the paste so that it's a nice workable consistency. But you will still be able to cut it with a knife, you will still be able to eat it, it will still have a little bite to it, and because you're not putting a huge amount of Tylo powder or CMC into it, it won't adjust the taste. And I know for some people that's a bit of a worry. That's also one of the reasons I don't use 50-50, because gum paste or flour paste can have a bit of a bitter aftertaste, and if I'm using a 50-50 mix, sometimes the paste just doesn't quite taste right to me. So as you can see, as I'm kneading this, it's incorporating nicely into the sugar paste or fondant. Once you've done this, you will probably feel no difference whatsoever in your paste at its current stage. What I would next do is take this paste, put it into a plastic bag, get all of the air out of it, and sit it down somewhere at room temperature and let it mature for about half an hour or even an hour. If you know the projects you're doing, you could even do it a day or two ahead of time. The thing is, if I work with it in about half an hour to an hour's time, it's going to be firm and it's going to be perfect. If I leave it a day or two, that gum is going to mature a little bit further, and what you'll find is you'll pick it up and it'll be really firm. However, if you're good with good knead, the warmth of your hand will get you back to this consistency, which is what you're looking for. So hopefully that worked for you guys. The only thing I would say to that is, if you're going to take a white sugar paste or fondant and you're going to use a dust colour to colour it, colour the sugar paste or fondant before you put the Tylo in, because of course the dust colour will have a fraction of a drying effect on the paste, so you want to make sure that you haven't put the Tylo in and you've made it firm, then you're adding your dust colour and you're making it firmer. But I mean, it's totally okay to use liquids and paste and gel colours, whatever you wish. So I hope you found that helpful. As I said, this is what I've been using since we launched the Creative Cake system, and that's nearly a year ago now, and hopefully everyone's getting great results as I am with it. So thank you for watching, and if you need any help with anything else, just let us know. Bye bye now.